we know John Calipari is a one and done guy. That's not the case with Rick Barnes. So, what do you make of his latest pickup?
Yes, so Nate Ament, a 5-star Ford committed to Tennessee on Sunday. He is the highest rated recruit in Tennessee basketball history. There are a lot of positives with Nate Ament. He is a 6'9" wing. Tennessee will plug him in and start him immediately. That just sounds perfect. He is also proof that Rick Barnes...
When you say something like that, that just sounds perfect. There's a big but coming.
Yes. He is also proof that Rick Barnes at 70 still got it, as we can all tell. So Nate Ament is an incredible pickup for Tennessee in so many ways. They've already added Jacoby Gillespie. They have Bishop Boswell, and they're probably going to add another shooting guard. They have a front court that includes Jalen Carey, Felix Opera, Cade Phillips, and JP Estrella. So all they needed, the biggest thing they needed was a wing, and they pick up a 5-star, one-and-done freshman wing who is the highest-rated recruit they've ever picked up. Sounds great. Everybody loves it. And then you go through history, and you look at Rick Barnes' past with one-and-done freshmen. And guys, while I've been high on Rick Barnes with one-and-done transfer portal guys who are like seniors.
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
Is this a great pickup? Just in and of itself?
On paper, yes, but not for Rick Barnes. Because...
Okay, but tell me why it's a great pickup, just on paper, and we'll go to the Barnes part.
Well, because on paper, he fills a void that Tennessee had, which is they needed a wing. They don't have a wing, and he is the highest-rated recruit in Tennessee basketball history, and he steps into that wing role just immediately. They can just start him right then. So that's why he's a great pickup. Now, again, I'm going to go through Rick Barnes' history. And I told you guys in the stat of the day that Rick Barnes has hired... I mean, not hired. Listen to me. Rick Barnes has signed up to this point.
No. Hired is fine now.
Yeah, that is true. Rick Barnes has signed 9 one-and-done freshmen throughout his history. Okay? Corey Joseph, Miles Turner, Jaden Springer, Keon Johnson, Kevin Durant, Avery Bradley, Tristan Thompson, Julian Phillips, Kennedy Chandler. All 5 stars, all went to the NBA after their freshman year and all were drafted in the NBA. Hey, Dave, with those 9 one-and-dones, guess how many times Rick Barnes got out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament?
Once.
You nailed it. Once. And it was with Julian Phillips 2 years ago. Here's my question, Dave. Did anybody give Julian Phillips credit for that Tennessee team getting to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament?
No.
They lost, by the way, to a lower seed in Florida Atlantic. Here's the problem with Rick Barnes, and this is something I've talked about for a while. He coaches hard. He focuses on developing players. He coaches effort. He coaches fundamentals. All great things. All things that will help develop you for the NBA, and you should love that if you're any type of recruit. But for one-and-done freshmen, it doesn't always work. They don't buy in, and they shouldn't buy in because they're not trying to fit the mold of a team. They are using a pit stop to bide their time before they go to the NBA because they resent this rule that they have to even go to college for a year. And they are, and this is why it doesn't work. Okay. Rick Barnes didn't even get out of the first weekend with Kevin Durant. Here's actually what happened with Texas for those who don't know. And I'm just going to tell you guys the story of Rick Barnes' track record at Texas because it's kind of similar to what's happening with Tennessee now. And you should be worried that the second round Rick moniker is returning. Rick Barnes, when he was at Texas, he had a period, he rebuilt.
Wait. So you're saying the second round Rick thing is coming up because he got a great player?
He got more yes, because he got a yes, because he got a great player. It doesn't fit what he does. Let me break it down. Okay. 2001 to 2002 to 2004, Rick Barnes made the Sweet 16, the Final Four, and the Sweet 16. Then he started recruiting well. And then because he started recruiting well, in his he started getting a lot more one-and-dones. As a matter of fact, I think his first one-and-done came right after that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then 9 of his final 11 years, he didn't get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. Never at Texas did he get out of the first weekend with a one-and-done. And there's 2 standout years that I want to bring up to you with Rick Barnes. One of them includes the year he got fired. But let's take 2009, 2010. So in 2008, 2009, Texas went to the second round of the NCAA tournament. They returned everybody, okay? They returned everybody. And then they added 5-star shooting guard Avery Bradley. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, they returned everybody, and they add this 5-star who's just going to perfectly fit in with what they're doing. They're going to win it all. And they did reach number 1 in 2010. And then they stumbled, and they fell to 24-10, and they got bounced out in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Let's fast forward. 2013, 2014, Texas goes 24-11, reaches the second round of the NCAA tournament. They return everybody. They add 5-star Miles Turner, and it's a 5-star power forward. And it's like, oh, they return everybody, and then they can just plug and play this 5-star one-and-done freshman. They're going to be awesome. Whoops. They stumble to 20-14. They bounced out in the first round of the NCAA tournament, and Rick Barnes is canned. And all I'm saying is that Rick Barnes doesn't coach one-and-done freshmen well because it's not his style. Rick Barnes' style are 3- and 4-star guys who will be 3- to 4-year guys and develop and maximize their potential. And also one-and-done transfer portal seniors who want to fine-tune a part of their game so they can take a shot at the NBA draft in a year. That's where you get the Dalton Connects. That's where you get the Chaz Laniers. That's where I think you'll get the Jacoby Gillespies this year. Jalen Carey. I'm fine with those transfer portal guys, but one-and-done transfer portal players, freshmen, one-and-done transfer portal freshmen do not work out in Rick Barnes' system. It is obviously one-and-done transfer portal freshman. The only one he's ever made it to the Sweet 16 with is Julian Phillips. And again, Julian Phillips was, I think, the 5th most important player on that team. Yeah, Josiah Jordan Games, Olivia Nkomwa, Santiago Scovey was good that year. So, sorry, guys. Rick Barnes' history proves this 5-star signing is not going to work out.
Okay, here's why Caleb is so wrong. And I love you. But you're never going to turn down an elite player. And if you think that he just might be there for a year, you're not going to turn him down. And here's the other thing to remember. Okay, so let's just say he's good but not great. Then he stays around for. Does he have another year?
I mean, he could stay for 4 years, obviously.
Thank you.
He's not going to, though. He even said, he was quoted yesterday as saying, Rick Barnes sees me as a one-and-done prospect. And then he said, I look at Kevin Durant, and I see that's what Rick Barnes can get out of me, and that's a great goal. Except Kevin Durant didn't deliver anything for Rick Barnes. I mean, Kevin Durant hasn't really delivered much for people in the NBA either. But he
won a championship?
Yes, because he joined a 73-win team.
I know.
I mean, like, it was...
I know.
It's the most pathetic, like, legacy talk of all time. I'm saying Kevin Durant playing for Rick Barnes got bounced out in the first round, got dropped off by Chris Lofton from 35 feet. Okay. I'm telling you guys.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you guys up
that
front.
Shot does not go in. Wow. 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah, but a halfway decent defender makes sure that shot doesn't go in anyway. But Kevin Durant fully extended and Chris Lofton dropped him off because Kevin Durant was soft. He's soft.
He's not soft. Dude, I've watched him in person. He's not soft.
He's soft. He's soft. He's
okay,
soft.
Let's debate that for another time.
So anyways, what I'm trying to say and what I'm bringing up is that Rick Barnes, I'm not saying you don't take the player. I'm saying Rick Barnes' coaching style is not going to work. They'll be in the NCAA tournament next year. They might advance to the second round. It's as good as they're going to do. Guys, let's just talk about his time at Tennessee with one-and-done transfer portal. I mean, with one-and-done freshmen. I just brought up Julian Phillips. How about 2020, 2021? He had 2 5-star one-and-done transfer portal. He had 2 5-star one-and-done freshmen. Keon Johnson and Jaden Springer got bounced out in the first round. How about 2022? He had 5-star Kennedy Chandler. Was a 3 seed, lost to 11 seed Michigan in the second round.
I'm with his name, Madden Speeden. I would totally take talent over everything else. Sorry.
Fine. You can take the talent, but some people can't coach the talent right. This guy's not a fit for Rick Barnes. Okay, I'm sorry, he's not. I'm going to say this to you guys right up front, right now. If Rick Barnes were coaching that Syracuse team in 2003, they get bounced out in the first weekend. Carmelo Anthony would never have won a title playing for Rick Barnes as a one and done guy. So this is what I'm telling you guys. Rick Barnes' history. This is not a knock on his coaching. He coaches you hard. He tries to develop you. He tries to fit you in with the team. He coaches fundamentals and he pushes you really hard. It doesn't work for one and done freshmen who are just trying to get in, get out, and get their money that they feel like they should be getting anyway, which I don't blame them for. Okay? That's just not how this works. By the way,
yeah,
and someone actually,
I'm just saying, one of our best posters, General Ursus, says exactly, Dave.
okay, hold on. Dylan is asking me a question. And he says, so Kennedy Chandler wasn't a fit. Kennedy Chandler, most people wanted Zakai Ziegler starting over Kennedy Chandler that year, and Kennedy Chandler got bounced out in the first weekend of the NCAA tournament because he couldn't do anything against Michigan. So this is what I'm talking about. Okay, and Ben Hall, this actually is a great way to address it. He says the 2020-2021 team would also lose by 15 to this year's team. So what's your point? You're right, Ben, but this past year's team had less talent than the 2020-2021 team. They just played well together because they were developed well by Rick Barnes. I'm not knocking Rick Barnes' style. He's a great coach. Again, where Rick Barnes is at his best is 3 and 4 stars who stay 3 to 4 years and develop. Grant Williams, superstar. Admiral Schofield, very good player in college. He's also at his best with veteran players who are transfers who want to develop one part of their game.
Caleb. All right. So you're just telling me that Rick Barnes can only take overachievers and get to a certain point.
Overachievers and veterans.
Okay,
Overachievers and veterans.
Then fire him.
No, you don't fire him. You don't fire him. He's still going to have
good enough. That's
better than anything Tennessee basketball has ever done in history.
So
I think you stick with them. I'm just saying this isn't going to work. It's not going to work. And Tennessee, second round Rick will be back next year. Tennessee will not. How about this? Let's play bank on it right now. Tennessee's not getting out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament.
Oh, good Lord. So not
no Sweet 16. No Sweet 16.
Okay.
No Elite
Bank on it. Brought to you by Commercial Bank. Member FDIC, life made better. Caleb is crazy. Bank on it. Brought to you by Commercial Bank.
Commercial Bank is your neighborhood bank. What makes us different from other banks? We understand that every customer has unique opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. We don't expect you to fit into the same box as the next person or business. Whether it's purchasing a home, saving for your child's future, or planning for your next vacation, we're with you every step of the way to navigate life's big decisions. Commercial Bank.
Okay, so past the first weekend or not? You tell me.
Tennessee basketball will not make it past the first weekend of the NCAA tournament next year. I'm willing to bet on that right now. And Unsung comes and goes, where did Barnes hurt you at, Caleb? Dave, will you acknowledge I have been one of the biggest cheerleaders of Rick Barnes' tenure at Tennessee. Have I not? And defended.
You actually have. Not just you on the show, but across the board. Yes.
Yes, exactly. So I am a huge fan of Rick Barnes and his coaching style. However, I have history on my side with this. Again, Rick Barnes has made it out of the first weekend one time with a one and done freshman. That one time was with Julian Phillips, who was totally unimportant to that Tennessee basketball team. Okay. So again, if this is the case, if I'm some crazy person with my crazy takes by relying on history, this is a man.
You're reading. Okay, go ahead.
This is a man who did not get out of the first weekend with Kevin Durant on his team.